Peace in from the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of Advertising. Stan Gibilisco here with a third installment in the, I don't know if I'd call it anti-war video series, but I'm certainly not in favor of war. But I want to differentiate war between other kinds of fights. You can fight with someone because you don't like the way that they talk to you or because you don't like their face. Well, I don't do that. You know, I don't care what a guy's face looks like or what a girl's face looks like. I care what they look like inside. And even if I dislike what they look like inside, I'm not going to fight them. I'm too old for that kind of stuff. You know, what's the point? Get along with them. Make friends with them. Find you a person who's likely to be your worst enemy and make them into your friend. Turn that energy vector around, point it in your favor instead of against you. But I want to differentiate between war and a mere fight or mere competition for food and resources. Now, this is my opinion. It's another hypothesis, another Gibilisco hypothesis. And that is that war is a phenomenon that derives from pure, unadulterated resident evil. Something that arose probably around the time of Alexander the Great. I'd say Alexander the Infamous. Somebody who conquered the whole world. You know, there's a story I read in a book by my favorite philosopher, Osho, O-S-H-O. Go check him out. I discovered him when I lived in Kailua, Kona, Hawaii, at a little bookshop called the Middle Earth Bookshop. I don't know what made Kona, Hawaii the middle of the earth, but it was the middle of something. It was the middle of a good time. But anyway, war is an evil that arose somehow in the minds, hearts, souls, and spirits of man or humankind around the time of Alexander the Great. It's not mere fights, say, among Native Americans to steal horses from each other. I guess those were sorts of games or competition for the limited resources they had out here in the Great Plains of what is now called South Dakota. Back then, I think it was just called our land, meaning the Native American land. It's not that. It's not competition for resources. It's not a fist fight in a back alley or even a brawl or a riot. War is something entirely different. And it occurs at species at all levels, from the tiniest viruses and bacteria to the human existence. If we want to consider ourselves at the top of the chain, maybe I should reverse that and say it occurs all the way from the human existence up to the sophistication of viruses and bacteria. But war is simply a battle fought for the sake of fighting, as far as I can tell. Adventurer conquerors like Adolf Hitler, that's probably the best example in recent times. They talk about Putin being an adventurer conqueror. Well, as far as I know, I don't see him that way, but he, you know, for some, the worst adventurer conqueror on the entire planet is the United States of Advertising. So I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to start blaming people. But war is a very real phenomenon that exists in all species on Earth as far as I can see. It has no point other than to commit violence, other than to cause and spread sorrow, destruction, and misery. Not to mention a whole heck of a lot of death. That's all war does. I remember reading a book in college once, and it concluded something like this. You can Google on this phrase and probably find the title of the book. It said, "Plan the wars, you masters of men. Plan the wars and point the way, and we will point the gun." We, meaning those little pawns who are used to fight the wars that arise in the minds and imaginations of people with pure, unadulterated evil intent. I never intended to go here with these videos. I just liked the tune, Where Have All the Flowers Gone? I just remember I liked the sound of the music. I just thought the music sounded good when I was a kid. But now, it means a whole lot more to me. I missed going to Vietnam by the Tartar on these teeth, just because I happened to be lucky, I guess. They called the draft off the very year that the lottery ended. I drew number 29, so I would have ended up going. I would have commissioned myself as an officer, or somehow got an officer commission and all this blah, blah, blah. But I still would have been involved as a pawn in the most, undoubtedly the most evil of all human enterprises, all bacteria enterprises, all enterprises among ants, as Henry David Thoreau watched them. War is a completely Satan-derived phenomenon, and that is my opinion, and I stand by it here in the Black Holes, where it's doggone near 60 degrees Fahrenheit up here in the middle of February. Who'd have thunk it? But then again, they don't call us the Banana Belt for nothing, do they? Stan Gibilisco signing off. Peace out. Peace forever. Until next time, so long.